Ram 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 Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Tuesday. It is the 5th of August, and it is Shravana Masa, Shridhara Masa, Shukla Paksham, and Ekadashi today. So today is Pavitropan Ekadashi, fasting from grains, beans, and cereals. And one more event is today is Julan Yatra begins. It goes for next 13 days. Yes, we shall read a few lines from ISKCONvisit.com about Pavitropan Ekadashi and also Julan Yatra. Yes, so can I request Hemlata Mataji is available if you are to read Ekadashi with us. Yes, that is not available. Do you have Hangman Mataji to read that for Hare Krishna Hangman Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Would you like to read the Ekadashi story, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sri Yudhishthira Maharaja said, O O Madhusudana, O killer of the Madhu demon, please be merciful to me and describe to me the Ekadasi that occurs during the light fortnight of the month of Shravana, July, August. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna replied, Yes, O King, I shall happily narrate its glories to you. For just by hearing about this sacred Ekadasi, one attains the merit of performing a horse sacrifice. At the dawn of Dwapar Yug, there lived a king by the name of Mahijita who ruled the kingdom of Mahishmati Puri. But he had no son. His entire kingdom seemed utterly cheerless to him. A married man who has no son gains no happiness in his life or the next. The Sanskrit word for son is putra. Pu is the name of a particular hell, and Tra means to deliver. Thus, the word Putra means a person who delivers one from the hell named Pu. Therefore, every married man should produce at least one son and train him properly. Then the father will be delivered from a hellish condition of life. But this injunction does not apply to the serious devotees of Lord Krishna or Vishnu, for the Lord becomes their son, father, and mother. Furthermore, Chanakya Pandita says, Satyam Mata Pita Jnanam Dharmo Bhrata Daya Shakha Santiha Patni Shama Putra Sadete Mama Vandavaha. Truth is my mother, knowledge is my father, my occupational duty is my brother, kindness is my friend, tranquility is my wife, and forgiveness is my son. These six are my family members. Among the 26 leading qualities of a devotee of the Lord, forgiveness is the topmost. Therefore, devotees should make an extra endeavor to develop this quality. Here, Chanakya says, Forgiveness is my son, and thus a devotee of the Lord, even though he may be on the path of renunciation, may observe this Ekadasi and pray to attain this kind of son. For a long time, this king tried very hard to obtain an heir, but to no avail. Seeing his years advancing ever onwards, King Mahijita became increasingly anxious. One day he told an assembly of his advisers, I have committed no sin in this life, and there is no ill gotten wealth in my treasury. I have never usurped the offerings to the demigods or Brahmanas. When I waged war and conquered kingdoms, I followed the rules and regulations of the military art, and I have protected my subjects as if they were my own children. I punished even my own relatives if they broke the law, and if my enemy was gentle and religious, I welcomed him. O twice born souls, although I am a religious and faithful follower of the Vedic standards, still my home is without a son. Kindly tell me the reason for this. Hearing this, the king's Brahmana advisors discussed the subject among themselves, and with the aim of benefiting the king, they visited the various ashrams of the great sages. At last they came upon a sage who was austere, pure, and self satisfied, who was strictly observing a vow of fasting. His senses were completely under control. He had conquered his anger, and he was expert at performing his occupational duty. Indeed, this great sage was expert in all the conclusions of the Vedas, and he had extended his lifespan to that of Lord Brahma himself. His name was Lomasa Rishi, and he knew par- past, present, and future. After each kalpa passed, one hair would fall out of his body. One kalpa, or 12 hours of Brahma, equals uh,
4.6
is it billion?
billion years.
Yeah, 4.3 billion years. All the king's Brahmana advisors very happily approached him one by one to offer their humble respects. Captivated by this great soul, King Mahijita's advisors offered obeisances to him and said very respectfully, only because of our great good fortune, O sage, have we been allowed to see you. Lomasa Rishi saw them bowing down to him and replied, kindly tell me why you have come here. Why are you praising me? I must do all I can to solve your problems, for sages like me have only one interest, to help others. Do not doubt this. Lomasa Rishi had all good qualities uh, because he was a devotee of the Lord. As, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 12, Yashasti Bhakti Bhagavate Akinshana Sarver Gunes Tatra Samaste Suraha Harav Abhaktasya Kuto Mahadguna Manorathe Nasti Dhavto Bahiya. In one who has unflinching devotional service to Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods are consistently manifest. However, he who has no devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead has no good qualification, because he is engaged by mental concoction in material existence, which is the external feature of the Lord. The king's representatives said, we have come to you, O exalted sage, to ask for your help in solving a very serious problem. O sage, you are like Lord Brahma. Indeed, there is no better sage in the entire world. Our king Mahijita is without a son, and though he has sustained and protected us as if we were his sons, seeing him so unhappy and on account of being sonless, we have become very sad. O sage, and therefore we have entered the forest to perform severe austerities. By our good fortune, we happened upon you. Everyone's desires and activities become successful just by your darshan. Thus, we humbly ask that you tell us our kind king can obtain a son. Hearing their sincere plea, Lomasa Rishi absorbed himself in deep meditation for a moment and at once understood the king's previous life. Then he said, your ruler was a merchant in his past life, and feeling his wealth insufficient, he committed sinful deeds. He traveled to many villages to trade his goods. Once at noon on the day after Ekadashi, that comes during the light fortnight on the month of Jeshta, Trivikarma, May, June. He became thirsty while traveling from place to place. He came upon a beautiful pond on the outskirts of a village, but just as he was about to drink at the pond, a cow arrived there with her newborn calf. These two creatures were also very thirsty because of the heat, but when the cow and calf started to drink, the merchant rudely shoved them aside and selfishly slaked his own thirst. This offense against a cow and her calf has resulted in your king's being without a son now. But the good deeds he performed in his previous life have given him rulership and an undisturbed kingdom. Hearing this, the king's advisers replied, O renowned Rishi, we have heard that the Vedas say one can nullify the effects of one's past sins by acquiring merit. Be so kind as to give us some instruction by which our king's sins can be destroyed. Please give him your mercy so that a prince will take birth in his family. Lomasa Rishi said, there is an Ekadashi called Putrada, which comes during the light fortnight of the month of Shravana. On this day, all of you, including your king, should fast and stay awake all night, strictly following the rules and regulations. Then you should give the king whatever merit you gain by this fast. If you follow these instructions of mine, he will surely be blessed with a fine son. All the king's advisers became very pleased to hear these words from Lomasha Rishi, and they all offered him their grateful obeisances. Then, their eyes bright with happiness, they returned home. When the month of Shravana arrived, the king's advisers reminded the advice of Lomasha Rishi, and under their direction, all the citizens of Mahishmati Puri, as well as the king, fasted on Ekadashi. And on the next day, Dwadashi, the citizens dutifully offered their accrued merit to him. By the strength of all his merit, the queen became pregnant and eventually gave birth to a most beautiful son. O Yudhishthira, Lord Krishna concluded that the Ekadashi that comes during the light fortnight of the month of Shravana has thus rightfully become a famous Putrada, bestower of a son. Whoever desires happiness in this world and the next should certainly fast from all grains and legumes on this holy day. Indeed, whoever simply hears the glories of Putrada Ekadashi becomes completely free of all sin and is blessed with a good son, and surely ascends to heaven after death. Thus ends the narration of glories of Shravana Shukla Ekadashi or Putrada Ekadashi from the Bhavishya Purana. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And
Yeah,
thank you, Prabhuji. Apologies um for my pronunciation on the shlokas.
very beautifully read, Mataji. Thank you so much. So you did very nicely the shlokas as well. So
Thank you, Prabhuji.
thank you, Mataji. So Pavitro Pani Ekadasi ki jai. Okay, so that is about Ekadasi. So Julan Yatra, we just read over some part of it to as a glimpse. Can I request Devashish Prabhuji to read Julan Yatra about just first two paragraphs, please?
Krishna Prabhu. One of the most popular event in the holy town of Vrindavan in India, where Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago. In the celebration of Jhulan Jatra, the Radha Krishna Swing Festival in Vrindavan, among the local villages and the inhabitants, this festival lasts for 13 days. In Vrindavan, this is one of the biggest festival of the year, and Vrindavana is very crowded at this time. Literally, hundreds of thousands of people from surrounding the town's village visited Vrindavan. Over the period of the auspicious sacred month of Shravan, July, August, opulences or simplicity, but often swings are made gold and silver. In Sri Vrindavan, for 5 days, in many of the 5,000 temples there, the small Utsav Vigraha uh, functions, deities Vijay Utsav Bera, are taken from the altar and placed on the elaborately decorated swing. in the temple room. After receiving the traditional arati worship, the deities are pushed on their swings. Members of the congregation are invited to participate. Each person offers flowers, petals, and personal prayers at the and then push the swing several times as the other members chant Hare Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Bindavan, or Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Madhava, Madhava Daite in Kirtan. The atmosphere of this festival is especially sweet as everyone has the chance to imitate intimately serve Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Jalan Yatra ki jai. Okay, so today is a beautiful Radha Krishna Jalan Yatra. It goes for 13 days. Okay, that is from Evan's perspective. So we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vidura is inquiring from Maitreya Rishi to speak about Narayana, who is the creator of this universe, and also how he has created the three material modes of nature, and what are his pastimes, and how he created the living entities, and how those living entities with the different names and forms according to their activities. How Lord has created all of these things. Can you please describe elaborately like this? He was asking, Yena prajanam uta atma karma rupabhidanam cha bidam vidatta. Rupabhidanam cha bidam vidatta. So everyone, we also have got name, form, and different pastimes, different activities, but it is karma. So one get this one based on his form and also activities. Again, these names are also given to all the living entities. So it comes like a based on the previous activities. Yad jad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam. That consciousness, it carries out into this life, and then here again he will get a name and then form, and then he carry out his activities. Narayana Visvasrug Atma Yonihi Etachano Varnaya Vipravarya. And how the Lord has created Narayana Visvasrug, who is the creator of this universe. Visvasrug, the creator of this universe, Atma Yonihi Etachano Varnaya Vipravarya. So can you please describe all these pastimes of the Lord to me? O Maitri Rishi. Likewise, Vidra is inquiring. And then so he mentions that what he wanted to hear from Maitri Rishi. He says that, oh, my dear Maitri Rishi, I have been hearing all these materialistic pastime, materialistic activities like the politics, economics, and sociology, everything from Vyasadeva, and also some transcendental topics I have been hearing. By personally, Vyasadeva, whenever he comes to the Hastinapura into the assembly of Dhritarashtra, there I used to hear from him so many topics. But out of those topics, I also used to hear transcendental topics of Krishna. But these material topics, I'm satiated with them. So I'm not very much satisfied with them. But actually, Krishna Katha, I'm not satiated to hear all about those topics. Can you please describe the transcendental pastimes of Krishna? So I'm not yet satisfied yet. So I wanted to hear more and more about those topics. Likewise, Mithura is just filtering out what he wanted to hear from Maitreya Rishi. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 5, verse number 10. परावरेशं भगवन् व्रतानि श्रुतानि मे व्यासमुखादभीक्षणम् अतृप्तमचुल्लसुखवहानं तेषामृते कृष्णकथामृतौ गतात् परावरेशं भगवान् व्रतानि para, avara, isham. So here higher and para is the higher, avaresham is of this lower. Bhagavan, O my Lord, O great one, O Maitreya Rishi, Bhagavan, Vratani, occupations, Srutani me Vyasa Mukat Abhikshanam. And Shrutani, I have heard, and by me, Vratani, Vratani, Srutani me. Vratani is occupation, Srutani is heard by me. Vyasa Mukat Abhikshanam. Vyasa Mukhad, from the mouth of Vyasadev, Abhikshanam, repeatedly. I have been hearing from Vyasadev. Atrup, uh, Atrupnama, Kshulla Sukavahanam, Atrupnama. So I am satisfied with those topics. I am satisfied with those topics which were Kshulla, they are little, Sukavahanam, Sukha Avahanam. So that which causes happiness. Their little happiness. These are all material topics. And Tesham Rute, out of Tesham, out of that, Rute without Krishna Katamruta, Voghat, and this is Krishna Katha, talks about personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Amruta Voghat, from the nectar. So he has heard, he is mentioning that except Krishna Katha, he has heard many other things in detail and repeatedly. Adhikshanam, repeatedly, he has heard all those topics. Politics, movies, entertainment, so many other topics. Of course, Vyasadeva has given from the point of the administrative perspective and also transcendental. Whenever it is needed, he used to give some religious topics as well. But Krishna Katha, he is Rute, except that one, without Tesham Rute, out of, that is Krishna Katha. So he did not hear Krishna Katha elaboratedly. Amruta Voghat, that is the from the nectar. So likewise, Vidura wanted to hear all about Krishna's pastimes. He is in such a way describing them. Paravareshan Bhagavan Vratani Shrutani me Vyasa Mukadavikshanam Atrupnama Sukavahanam Tesham Rute Krishna Katamruta Voghat. So translation. O my Lord, I have repeatedly heard about these higher and lower statuses of human society from the mouth of Vyasadeva, and I am quite satisfied with all these lower, lesser subject matters and their happiness. They have not satisfied me with the nectar of topics about Krishna. Okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so can I request any unallocated devotee to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Purport. Because people are very much interested in hearing social and historical presentations. Srila Vasudev has compiled many books such as Puranas and Mahabharata. These books are reading matter for the mass of people, and they were compiled with a view to reviving their God consciousness, now forgotten in the conditional life of material existence. The real purpose of such literature is not so much to present topics of historical references, but to revive the people's sense of God consciousness. For example, Mahabharata is the history of the Battle of Kurukshetra, and common people read it because it is full of topics regarding the social, political, and economic problems of human society. But factually, the most important part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita, which is automatically taught to readers along with the historical narrations of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Vidura explained to Maitreya his position of being fully satiated with the knowledge of mundane, social, and political topics and having no more interest in them. He was anxious to hear transcendental topics regarding Lord Krishna. Because there were insufficient topics directly concerning Krishna in the Puranas, Mahabharata, etc. He was not satisfied and wanted to know more about Krishna. Krishna Katha or topic regarding Krishna are transcendental, and there is no satiation in hearing such topics. Bhagavad Gita is important on account of being Krishna Katha or speeches delivered by Lord Krishna. The story of Battle of Kurukshetra may be interesting for the mass of people, but to a person like Vidur, who is highly advanced in devotional service, only Krishna Katha and that which is dovetailed with Krishna Katha is interested. Vidura wanted to hear of everything from Maitreya, and so he inquired from him. But he desired that all the topics be in relationship with Krishna, as fire is never satisfied in its consumption of firewood. So a pure devotee of Lord never hears through about Krishna, never hears enough about Krishna. Historical events and other narrations concerning social and political incidents all become transcendental as soon as they are in relationship with Krishna. That is why to transform mundane things into spiritual identity, the whole world can be transferred into Vaikuntha if all worldly activities are dovetailed with Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna. There are two important Krishna Kathas current in the world. Two important Krishna Kathas current in the world, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna Katha because it is spoken by Krishna, whereas Bhagavatam is Krishna Katha because it narrates about Krishna. Lord Chaitanya advised all his disciples to preach Krishna Katha all over the world without discrimination because the transcendental value of Krishna Katha can purify one and all from the material contamination. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you,
Jai.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So here, Srila Prabhupada is describing about people are very much interested in hearing social and historical presentations. Vyasadeva has compiled many books such as the Puranas and Mahabharata. Mahabharata, it is the very vast literature. It is Narada Muni, he describes Jijnasitam Susampannam Apiti Mahad Adbhutam. Jijnasitam Susampannam. It contains all topics. It is full and though full of political, social, and many other things. Susampannam, apete mahadadbhutam. It is the great literature you have compiled, O Vyasadeva. Krutvan bharatam yastvam sarvadha paribrahmitam. Sarvadha paribrahmitam. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, everything is elaborately described in that Mahabharata. Sarvadha paribrahmitam. So this is for actually because many people Stri Sudra Dvija Bandhunam Trai na Suti Gochara, they cannot understand women, the Sudras, and also Dvija Bandhunam, relatives of the Brahmanas. They are not actually the Brahmanas, but relatives of the Brahmanas. Trais na Suti Gochara, they cannot understand the Veda. So for that purpose, Karma Shreyasi Modahanam Shreya Evam Bhavediha. Iti Bharatam Apyanam Krupaya Munina Krutam. So Vyasadeva has compiled Iti Bharatam Apyanam, that Srimad Mahabharat. Krupaya Munina Krutam. So compassionately looking at all these people with less intelligence, he has compiled Mahabharat. So, of course, that is not only Mahabharata. Now also we can compile, if we're looking at observing one particular history, we can also compare one of this, but with all kinds of this thing. At any point of time, we can create one stories, but during that time, Krishna was present, who is the hero of Mahabharata. And here, again, Vijara, he describes that what is the purpose of hearing Mahabharata as well. He says, Munirvyukshuna Bhagavgunanam Sakapite Bharatam Aha Krishnaha. Yasmindunam grami sukanuvade matirvihitanu harehe katayam. All these things, reading of Mahabharata or hearing everything, only to attract the conditioned souls towards matirgrihita, matirgrihitanu harehe katayam, just to divert all of their consciousness towards the Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, Harehe Kathayam. That is the only purpose. Otherwise, there is no other meaning. So that's why Bhagavad Gita is kept in between Mahabharata. Mahabharata, it contains, and also Vishnu Sahasranama also, it comes from Mahabharata. I think Bhishma Suti is from there. Okay, so Vyasadeva has compiled all these Puranas and Mahabharata. So these for the all the people. People are very much interested in hearing social and historical presentations. And these Puranas again divided into 18 Puranas. 18 Puranas categorized into 6 Puranas for the people in the mode of goodness, 6 Puranas for the people who are in the mode of passion, 6 Puranas for the people who are in the mode of ignorance. Out of those, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost. It is for the Paramahamsas, who does not have any material entanglement, who are completely purified. And if even the one is contaminated, if he come in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam, he will be purified. So that is the power of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so these books are reading matter for the mass of people, and they were compiled with a view to reviving their God consciousness. Now, forgotten in the conditional life of material existence, the real purpose of literature is not so much to present topics of historical references, but to revive people's sense of God consciousness. This is the main purpose. So some people in the mode of ignorance, they go to take to the different scriptures, like scriptures in the mode of ignorance. They will, for example, Shiva Purana, even though it is transcendental, but it is attractive to the people in the mode of ignorance. Likewise, 6 Puranas are in that state, that described in the Padma Puranas. And then gradually those people consciousness will come higher level, and then mode of ignorance to passion, and passion to top level. So they will be attracted to the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, like that. And then finally completely absorbing Krishna consciousness. It is not that all people are of the same level. So people with the pure consciousness, they're the topmost. Okay, so for example, here Mahabharata is the history of Battle of Kurukshetra, and common people read it because it is full of topics regarding the social, political, and economic problems of human society. Many people, even though they are not intelligent enough, they will also, if we ask them, they will start speak about Mahabharata in their own way, in different perspectives, according to their understanding. So it does not, there is no loss for them. So they're engaged somewhere there because they're speaking the characters and trying to dovetail what they have understood. But gradually they will be attracted towards Bhagavad Gita. But factually, the most important part of Mahabharata is Bhagavad Gita, which is automatically taught to readers along with the historical narrations of the Battle of Kurukshetra. Initially, we may think that, okay, Krishna, because of Krishna, all this has happened. And then we would see Krishna in one different angle. Later on, oh, Krishna might have done correctly. And later on, again, some contemplations. So, likewise, gradually they are absorbing, trying to understand and speculate on Krishna and Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. In due course of time, if they come in contact with the devotees of Krishna, gradually they will be coming to Krishna consciousness. Yeah, that is the main purpose. So Vidura explained it to Maitreya, his position of being fully satiated with the knowledge of mundane, social, and political topics, and having no more interest in them. Because there is any topic if you take, you do not find any solution there. But people, somewhere or other, they are contaminated. There, Narada Muni also mentions Tad Vaisatidham Mushanti Manasa Nayatra Hamsa Nirmanti Usakshayaha Nayadvachitra Padam Hareresho Jagat Pavitram Pragunehita Karichet Tad Vaisam Tidham Mushanti Manasa Nayatra Hamsa Nirmanti Usakshayaha. So in the first canto of Bhagavatam, in the I think chapter 4, verse number 10. So there, Narada Muni says to Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva, you have compiled Mahabharata and all the Puranas, but you did not describe about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead enough. Because of that, you are not feeling happy. So likewise, when Vyasadeva asked, I am not happy, can you please find what could be the reason? You can enter into the heart of if all the living entities. Oh, Narada Muni, can you please help me? And then Narada Muni started saying that, okay, so that you did not enough, you did not describe glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the literatures which that does not glorify Krishna, those are just like a place of the crows where they take pleasure in the filthy places. So that is Nayadvachitra Padam Hare Risho Jagat Pavitram Pragnihta Karchit. Tad Vaisatidham Mushanti Manasa. Vaisatidham is the place, Vaisa is the Vaisatidham, the crows where they take pleasure, that is in the filthy places. तद्भाषितम् उशन्ति मानसा न यत्र हंस निर्मन्ति उषक्षयाः न यत्र हंस निर्मन्ति उषक्षयाः. There Paramhamsa, they do not take pleasure. So such kind of topics, they do not give any pleasure to the devotees. And Vidura was anxious to hear transcendental topics regarding Lord Sri Krishna because there were insufficient topics directly concerning Krishna in the Puranas, Mahabharata, etc. He was not satisfied and wanted to know more about Krishna. Krishna Katha or topics regarding Krishna are transcendental, and there is no satiation in hearing such topics. Here, Navitra, there again, Vayam tu na vitrupyama उत्तमश्लोकविक्रमे रसिध्यान यशृणुतं रसिध्यानं स्वादु स्वादु पदे पदे. Again, if we are keep hearing, we are never satiated. It is a practical experience in our experience itself. Then what to speak of Vidura, who is a pure devotee of the Lord, and he had got the association of the Lord directly, and Lord came to Vidura's home personally. So he is mentioning there is no satiation in hearing such topics. Bhagavad Gita is important on account of its being Krishna Katha or speeches delivered by Lord Krishna. So this is Sri Bhagavad Gita. And the story of the battle of Kurukshetra may be interesting for the mass of people, but to a person like Vidura, who is highly advanced in devotional service, only Krishna Katha and that which is dovetailed with Krishna Katha is interesting. So this is the purified souls. They would attract only to the आत्मारामशमुनियो निर्धन्दापि उरुक्रमे कुर्वन्ति ऐतुकीं भक्तिम् इत्थं भूत गुणो हरिः इत्थं भूत गुणो हरिः. They are attracted towards Krishna. These Atmaras are completely purified souls, devotees. So Vidura wanted to hear of everything from Maitreya Rishi, and so he inquired from him, but he decided that all the topics in relationship with Krishna only with relationship with Krishna. As fire is never satisfied in its consumption of firewood, so a pure devotee of the Lord never hears enough about Krishna. And historical events, other narrations concerning social and political incidents all become transcendental as soon as they are in relationship with Krishna. So this is our practical experience as well. When we are preparing prasadam, if we add some tulsi leaves and offer it to the Lord, all this food become turned into prasadam, sanctified. And we take it. So because there is a Krishna, it is meant for Krishna. If there is no Krishna, then all this prasadam, it is just like a he is eating only the sin. If it is not offered to Krishna, as Krishna again mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, one who is preparing nice palatable dishes only for his sake, it is he is eating only the sin. But if it is offered to Krishna, it is sanctified and it is pure. So in such a way, any topics, if it is dovetailing with Krishna, that will become transcendental. Okay, so that is the way to transform mundane things into spiritual identity. The whole world can be transformed into Vaikuntha if all worldly activities are dovetailed with Krishna Katha. So this is when the society is following the Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma is meant for Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by that one, in all statuses of life, either it is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, or Chandala, all even innocent animals also, they will be very happy. Even animals also can be trained in Krishna consciousness. This one also described how animals can get into, they become purified. Tevai vidanti atitaranti cha devamayam Sri Sudra Hona Shabrapi Papa Jivaha Yadadbhuta Krama Parayana Sela Sikshaha Tiryak Janapi Kimu ye Tiryak Jana. Tiryak means animal. Tiryak Janapi Kimu ye. This is Yad Adbhuta Parayana Krama Sela Sikshana Adbhuta Krama. So this is when once we train these animals also, they will also become Krishna consciousness. We see some of the animals, they are also used in the service of the Lord in the temples. For example, the elephants, horses. Okay, so likewise, they will also be purified in due course of time. Okay, so and coming to last paragraph, Prabhupada is describing about Krishna Kathas current in the world. Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. One is about what Krishna spoke, and one is about the pastimes of Krishna. Bhagavatam. यस्यां वै श्रूयमायाणं कृष्णे परम पुरुषे भक्तिरुत्पद्यते पुंसः शोक मोह भयापः. Once we hear Krishna Katha, that Srimad Bhagavatam, shoka moha bhayapaha, no lamentation, no fear, no illusion. Everything will be eradicated out. And bhaktirutpadyate pumsaha, the devotional service, devotional mood and bhakti sprout in the heart towards Krishna. And Bhagavad Gita is Krishna Katha because it is spoken by Krishna. And whereas Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna Katha because it narrates about Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya advised all his disciples to preach Krishna Katha all over the world without discrimination, because the transcendental value of Krishna Katha can purify one and all from material contamination. Okay, so people who are like the Godas, they can become Prabhus, master of the senses. Instead of the servant of their senses, they become master of their senses. If they are Deshakara Dhriktani Pratapani Shamani cha. So this is Baranti Harati Chettam Govinda Abhihitanimi. And when we are in the tables, when we are attracted to Krishna Katha, Govinda Abhihitanimi. Krutapani Shamanicha. He will be freed from the this tormentation of tapatriyas, and also Gitam Bhagavata Yatta Sangramamurdhani Kala Karma Tamuruddham Punaha Adhikamat Prabhuhu. So far he has been like a servant of the senses, and now once he hears Srimad Bhagavad Gita, then he become master of the senses. Punaha Adhigamat Prabhuhu. So it is mentioned about Arjuna by Suta Goswami describing to Saunakadi sages. So whenever Arjuna and Yudhishthira conversation taking place, how Arjuna was lamenting because of separation from Krishna, and later on by the instructions of Krishna Bhagavad Gita, he just was able to come out from that lamentation, and Punaha Adhigamat Prabhu, he became master of the senses again by the knowledge taken from Bhagavad Gita. Gitam Bhagavata Yattad Sangramam Murdhani Kala Karma Tamoruddham. They are transcendental to the time, place, and they are applicable in all times and places. Not only in India, it is for applicable even in the sun planet as well. Imam Vivishpate Yogam. That is, Bhagavad Gita knowledge is also present in the sun planet. It will purify one and all from material contamination. And likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Vidura wanted to hear those pastimes. Paravaresham Bhagavan Vritani Srutani me Vyasa Mukadabikshanam Atrupnama Sukha Vahanam Teshamrute Krishna Katamrita Oghat. Krishna Katamrita Oghat. Okay, so likewise, Vidura is inquiring from Maitri Rishi. Okay, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so today, letter to Nainabhirama, October 26th, 1970, Amritsar. It is a small letter only. Okay, can I request any another devotee, another devotee to read this small letter, please? Devashish Prabhuji, are you available to read this letter?
Haribol Prabhu, yes. My dear Nayanabirama, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge received your letter dated October 11th, 1970 and noted the contents with satisfactions. It is most important if you arrange lecture and kirtans at the school and colleges because the more intelligent young boys and girls of your country are very much eager to understand this Krishna consciousness movement. They are frustrated in so many ways and they are looking for something new kind of happiness which they will find in the Krishna consciousness movement. Please also try to introduce our books in the colleges and the schools as well as local libraries. I have received word from other centers that our literatures are very well received and often they are being used as course textbooks in the schools and colleges. You are already preaching on the university campus, so you add this book's distribution to your program and make it complete with the preaching, chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, distribution of prasadam and lectures and literatures. I know how well this program is received by the students because they are very intelligent. You are also very intelligent boy and devotee of Krishna, and Krishna will give you even more intelligence in proportion to your endeavor to serve Him faithfully. Please offer my blessings to your good wife, whose picture is in is as his picture in the news clipping is showing nice Krishna consciousness and all the other devotee there in Philadelphia temple. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever Elisha Esi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hari Bol.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Any take your points, Prabhuji?
Yeah, is the main topic of our Krishna consciousness is we have to preach through our book kirtan, serving prasadam. Uh, these are the main 4 5 elements that we should always introduce to in the case of spreading Krishna consciousness and Krishna consciousness movement. Wherever we go, whatever endeavor we do the Krishna will always faithfully, of course, and serve with wholeheartedly, and Krishna will multiply it many times, and Krishna will always give us the power to spread his this Krishna consciousness movement. Haribol Prabhu, that's my takeaway point from here.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nicely summarized. Okay, so yeah, that is what is the need in this world at this moment. So people are more in need of the happiness. How they can be, it is they need unlimited happiness. They can get through Krishna consciousness movement, not otherwise. Otherwise, they become hippies here and just imitating. Okay, so and the preaching practice by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is mentioning, you add this book distribution to your program and make it complete with preaching. Again, it is the desire of Krishna and that to spread Bhagavad Gita knowledge to everyone. And they are very dear to Krishna. Whoever is doing book distribution, they are very dear to the Lord and that spiritual master as well. Okay, so that is under chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, distribution of prasadam and the literatures. If we include this one, every program will become successful, but without any material motivation. Ahetuki apratihata, without interruption, without material motivation. Okay, so Prabhupada is appreciating Naina Abhirama. Okay, so and the Lord will give the intelligence. Dadami buddhi yogam tam ye namam upayantite. In proportion to your endeavor to serve him faithfully. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very beautiful point summarized. Any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, we shall, and from the announcements point of view, today evening we have got preaching practice session with the Gaurangi Mataji. Gaurangi Mataji is going to speak this evening at 8 p.m. Okay, that is our upcoming event. And dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just to let everyone know the loss of service opportunity in the temple because of the Janmashtami, and there's a fantastic prasadam serving after the service every evening during the weekdays. Different days are different prasadam. Like yesterday was Mexican, one day is Chinese, and one day is all those beautiful, beautiful, plenty of prasadam after the service, and all the devotees after service sit down together and have prasadam. Is so nice and more satisfactory. Little bit, whatever they can do, little bit of service for Krishna. There is nothing more satisfactory than that. So if anyone wants to join, every evening there's a Monday to Friday samosa services there, and different services are there. We doing the Joppa garden cleaning, Joppa garden repair, then samosa service and all this. Anyone wants to join, there's an opportunity, and at the same time fun as well. Pretty cool.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay, so service is the only the ladder for the devotional service to go very quickly in shortcut. So that services are there in the temple. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Any other updates? Okay, that's all from. So in the Bhagavatam, तथापरे चात्म समाध योग भलेन जित्वा प्रकृतिं भलिष्ठां त्वामेव धीराः पुरुषं विशन्ति तेषां श्रमः स्यान्न सेवया ये. So people they go to the forest and meditate on controlling the senses with rigorous austerities. But the devotees of the Lord, simply by serving to the Lord, they will achieve the same results very quickly and easily engaged in here. This is Pratyakshavagamam Dharmyam Susukam Kattum Avyayam. It is very pleasing as well. Okay, that is devotional service. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay, that is from updates. So we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Panchakalpatarubhyasya कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna conscious day, everyone.
Hare Krishna.